found out recently that 1/3 of your brain is used for processing vision, which seems like a lot. Like the fact that we have so many complex things going on inside of us, but 1/3 of your brain is just there to help you to process what you're seeing. Which is probably why our bodies are built in a way that, like so many aspects of the way our body is built, is to protect our vision. If you think about it, if something's coming at you, naturally you squint your eyes closed, right? And the reason you have eyelids is because your eyes have to be protected. If you have something pouring down your head like sweat, you have your eyebrows there because it's supposed to catch contaminants before they get to your eye. But even if it were to get past your eyebrows, you have eyelashes because the eyelashes also are supposed to act like a filter to stop things before they get into your eye. If someone were to swing at you from above, you have a forehead that kind of juts out to try to protect your eyes. If they swing at you from below, you have a nose there that stops things from getting into your eyes. In general, our eyes are sunken into our face. If you get hit from the side, it doesn't touch your eye, right? Like almost everything about how we're designed is to protect the eyes. In fact, if you were to throw something at me right now, instinctively, without even realizing it, my hands go up to protect my eyes, right? Our vision is something that we protect at all costs. We can't even put a price on it. And so Jesus says the eyes are the lamp of the body. And if your eyes are good, your whole body's full of light. But if they're bad, your whole body is full of darkness. There's this seriousness to our vision. The way that our eyes are designed is they're on the front of our head, and we look towards what we walk towards, right? You very rarely are walking through the mall and you see somebody walking like this, or backwards. It's where you face is where you walk, right? And naturally, whatever we're looking at, we tend to drift towards. We even do this when driving. The other week, I was pulling into a parking space in my apartment, and a neighbor was out there, and I saw him, and I started to wave at him as I'm pulling into a parking spot, and I'm looking past, and I looked back, and I was literally this close to hitting the car when I was pulling in, because I tend to drift towards what I'm looking towards. My dad knew a guy who, he used to tell us this story, that when he was driving down the street one day, and there was a pretty girl who was jogging on the side of the street, and he was a little distracted, and he ran his car into a parked car on the side of the street. And then he had to, I think, go home and explain to his wife why he crashed their car into a parked car. And it's because our eyes tend to drift towards what we're looking at, right? And so whatever you fix your vision on, that's what you walk towards. And so if you fix your vision on Christ, if your eyes are good, you're filled with light. If you fix your vision on him, you tend to walk towards him. But if you say you're a follower of Christ, but your vision is fixed on something different, well, guess what? You don't tend to walk backwards. The thing you're fixed on is where you are going to go in this life. Our eyes are healthiest when they're singularly focused, when we are not seeing double vision. There's this interesting passage. I'm reading this book. I can't remember the name of it right now. But I've been reading this book, and there's this passage in it that I thought was really fascinating, where they were doing experiments on vision, and they had a divider that they put between people's eyes like this, and they put two images, different images, in front of both eyes. And what they found was, what your brain will do is it does not see both images at once, right? And so what your brain does is it jumps back and forth between the two images, one or the other at any given moment, is what you're seeing in your brain. But they found that if you have two images in front of your eyes, and one of them is a moving image, so the one that they did was monkeys playing ping pong. If you have monkeys playing ping pong on this side, and on this side is just a static image of, let's say, a dollar bill or whatever, the monkeys playing ping pong is the only thing that your brain will ever see. This one will be in front of your eyes. Your left eye is still taking in that information, but you will literally never see it. You're completely unaware of it. And I thought that was really fascinating, the idea that if it's a moving image, constantly moving at all times, that's the only thing that your brain is ever going to see. It won't see the still image. I started to apply that in this message and think about the Lord as, the Lord talks about being still and being with your God. And he talks about, slowing down to spend that time with him. And I think in our lives, we have this constant moving image, this constant stream of motion that is always threatening to just pull us into its stream, right? And in a way, that ends up taking up our vision. And more often than not, during our weeks, if we're honest, that's all we're seeing. We come here on Sunday, but then during the weeks, a lot of times, there's too much to do. There's too much motion to really get alone and focus on your God and the other eye. There's always, the kids have to get to the soccer game, or you have to work overtime this week again, or, you're exhausted after a long day of work, so you just want to relax, so you put on some Netflix, and nothing wrong with those things. But when that stream never stops of motion, when the monkeys keep playing ping pong, you never see what's in the other eye. And so the only way that we can focus on the Lord is we have to close the eye to the stream of motion, right? We have to slow down enough, or we have to remove ourselves from that stream and for a moment just sit with our God in stillness for a moment. And what we find as we do that is that it actually improves our lives quite a bit when we take the time to actually get quiet and get still before our God and to step away from that stream of constant motion that always takes up our vision.